Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen. I'm a certified weight loss and nutrition coach, and today we're talking about the glycemic index, or the GI index. I get this question a lot about how foods affect glycemic index, why people eat low carb, why people really watch the amount of glycemic impact their food is having. So today we're going to deep dive into the GI index, talk about some foods and some ways to make sure that the foods that you're eating aren't spiking your glycemic index or your blood sugar. So if you're excited for today's video, give it a big, huge thumbs up. And don't forget, if you are new or you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you here. Hit the subscribe button and don't forget to ring the bell next to it so you don't miss a single video. I do upload every Tuesday and Thursday, so you don't want to miss out. Down in that description box, you're going to find nutrition coaching. I do offer personalized macros and calories, highly recommend, as well as 30 and 60 minute one-on-one sessions. If you want just a little bit more individualized support, I'm here to help. So check that out down in the description box. So let's jump in to talking all about the glycemic index. What is the glycemic index? Basically, the purpose of this is to monitor your blood sugar levels. What affects the GI index from your food is its nutrient composition, cooking method, ripeness, and how much processing your food has gone through. The GI index, or the glycemic index, not only helps you be more aware of what foods you're putting into your body, but how those foods affect your body in maybe what's considered to be a negative way. The GI index's purpose is to monitor how your food affects your blood sugar levels. Foods are classified as low, medium, or high on the GI index. The lower the food is, the less effect it has on your blood sugar levels. So how they determine whether foods rank as low, medium, or high is low foods generally have a rating of 55 or lower. Medium is 56 to 69, and high is 70 or above. Foods high in refined carbohydrates are processed a lot faster in your body, so these generally have a higher GI index. While foods high in protein, fat, and fiber generally have a lower GI index because it takes your body longer to process and break down those foods. Keep in mind that the glycemic index is different than the glycemic load. The glycemic index does not take into account how much food you're eating, but more how that food affects your blood sugar. The glycemic load factors in carbohydrates in a serving of food to figure out how that affects your blood sugar levels. So today we're going to really focus on the GI, or the glycemic index, but keep in mind the glycemic load. You may or may not have heard of the low GI diet. This is not necessarily a diet, but more a way of eating to focus on foods that have less of an impact on your glycemic index. Some of the benefits of a low GI diet are improved blood sugar regulation. Low GI diets help reduce your blood sugar levels and manage those in the most effective way for your body. It also helps with increased weight loss. Some studies show that the GI diet, or the GI way of life, helps reduce your weight on the short-term basis. There aren't a lot of studies out there showing how it affects it long-term, but it has been shown to affect in the short term. And it also reduces your bad cholesterol levels, your LDL cholesterol, or the cholesterol in your body that links to heart disease. So what foods are people eating on this low GI, or this low glycemic index diet? Lots of fruits, apples, berries, lemons, limes, and grapefruit. Non-starchy vegetables, things like broccoli and cauliflower, carrots, spinach, and tomatoes. Whole grains like quinoa, couscous, barley, buckwheat, farro, and oats. And legumes like lentils, black beans, chickpeas, and kidney beans. Now, foods without any GI index or very low GI index should also be enjoyed as part of a balanced glycemic index diet. Some of these items are meats like beef, bison, lamb, and pork, seafood, tuna, salmon, shrimp, mackerel, anchovies, and sardines. Poultry, things like chicken, turkey, duck, and goose. Oils like olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, and some really good healthy nuts like almonds, macadamia nuts, walnuts, and pistachios. And really load up on those good quality seeds, sesame seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, and of course flax seeds. And there are some spices out there that really help with your glycemic index as well. Things like turmeric, black pepper, cumin, dill, and basil. Now, no food is bad or good. No food should be eliminated, restricted, or considered to be off limits. But this next list of foods, you want to limit your consumption of these foods. Breads like white breads, bagels, naan breads, and pita breads. Rice, white rice, jasmine rice. Cereals like instant oats and your breakfast cereals. Pasta and noodles, things like lasagna, spaghetti, rotini, penne. Starchy vegetables, mashed potatoes, and French fries, and of course baked goods. We couldn't forget baked goods, things like donuts, cookies, and cakes. Sugar, sweetened beverages, sodas, fruit juices, and sports drinks. And some snacks, things like chocolate, crackers, microwave popcorn, chips, and pretzels. This doesn't mean that you can't have these foods. We just want to eat them in a more limited, moderated fashion. So when we're thinking about these foods and what we may want to incorporate if we're watching our glycemic index, let's talk about some actual glycemic index numbers of some of these foods. I'm going to put here on the screen what is considered a low, medium, and high when it comes to glycemic index. So first, let's talk about apples. Apples are a 36. Strawberries, 41. Dates, 42. Oranges, 43. Bananas, 51. Mango, 51. Blueberries, 53. Pineapples, 59. And watermelon is 76. So watermelon is the highest glycemic index fruit on the list that I just shared with you. So how about some different vegetables? Boiled carrots are a 39. Boiled plantains are a 66. Boiled sweet potatoes, 63. Boiled pumpkin, 74. And boiled potatoes, 78. Boiled potatoes have the highest effect on your blood sugar and your GI index. That's why they fall on that limited or in moderation list. Now, when it comes to grains, barley's rank at a 28, quinoa 53, and rolled oats at 55, couscous at 65, and popcorn also falls at 65. Brown rice is 68 versus white rice, which is 73. Wheat bread is 74 versus white bread at 75. Now, this is interesting because there isn't much difference in the wheat bread and the white bread because whole wheat bread is just as processed as white bread. It just contains a small amount of whole wheat, which really doesn't affect, number one, its nutrition or its effect on your glycemic index. The lowest GI index when it comes to legumes are soybeans. They actually fall at a 16. Kidney beans at 24, chickpeas at 28, and lentils at 32. Now for dairy and dairy alternatives, soy milk is a number 34. Skim milk is 37, so there isn't much difference between those two. Whole milk is a 39. So whole milk and skim milk, neither one of those affect your GI any differently. They are just two numbers apart. So if you want the real whole nutrients, then I recommend whole milk. Ice cream is a 51, and get this, you guys, rice milk is an 86 because rice milk is made from white rice, which has a high glycemic index. So if you're choosing a non-dairy beverage, I would stay away from rice milk. And lastly, let's touch on sweeteners because this I found to be very interesting. So fructose is a 15, which means that that's low on the glycemic index. Coconut sugar falls at a 54 and maple syrup also falls at a 54. As far as blood sugar levels and glycemic index, coconut sugar and maple syrup are equal. Honey is higher on the glycemic index at 61, and table sugar is the highest of all. This is table sugar, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar falls at a 61. So knowing where your favorite foods fall on the glycemic index is really helpful so that you can choose better foods if you want to control how your blood sugar levels spike and go down during the day. The way that you cook or prepare foods also can affect the glycemic index. Things like fried foods are going to fall higher on the glycemic index than things like boiled or grilled. When you roast or bake items, it also breaks down the food, which makes them higher on the glycemic index. If you want to prepare your foods in the most effective way for your blood sugar, the best option for that is to boil your foods. That's why you heard me mention boiled carrots, boiled potatoes, boiled plantains. The longer you cook the foods, the more broken down they become, which puts them higher on the GI index. So you don't want to overcook your foods. You want to cook them until they are thoroughly cooked through and remove them from the source of heat. Also, the ripeness of foods has an effect on the GI index. So I found this pretty interesting. So remember we mentioned that a banana has a GI index of of 51. But an underripe banana, if you're one of those people that enjoys underripe bananas, those only have a GI index of 36, so substantially less than when the banana ripens, because the sugars continue to form as it goes from an underripe state to a ripe state. So let's recap. So what is the GI index? It essentially measures how much the food that you're eating affects your blood sugar levels. Several factors affect this, things like nutrient composition, ripeness, cooking method, and the amount of processing that food undergoes. So why follow a low glycemic index approach to your way of eating? It helps balance out your blood sugar levels, which is really important. We don't want our blood sugar to continuously spike and then drop, spike and then drop. We want it to be as balanced as we can get it throughout the day. It also lowers your cholesterol and helps with short-term weight loss. So I hope you found today's video informational. If you were wondering exactly what the glycemic index was and how foods affect that and what foods you should be reaching for, I really hope today's video helped you out. I learned a lot just doing the research for it, so I hope that you enjoyed it equally as much. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did, and if you're new to my channel or you haven't yet subscribed, of course I'd love to have you here. Hit the subscribe button and don't forget to ring the bell right next to it so you don't miss a single upload. I do put new videos out every Tuesday and Thursday, so you don't want to miss out. Check out the description box down below where you will find nutrition coaching and links and discount codes to all of my very favorite healthy things. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you all next time.